Here now with the reaction to those comments is Greg Sichenzia, founder of Sichenzia, Ross & Friedman, and Jordan Goodman, MoneyAnswers.com founder and author of Fast Profits in Hard Times. Greg and Jordan, welcome both very much. Greg, your reaction to that, what do you think he means? He would like to punish companies that have enabled many Americans, millions, to buy homes for the first time.
I think, you know, Barack is a populist, and I think it sounds very good to say that, but in reality, you can't really punish a company. You can punish the individuals that run a company, but you can't punish the company, you can't punish the investors, and you can't punish the shareholders, because they're the ones ultimately who are providing these mortgages. So I think it was more rhetoric than anything else, and it sounded good. And you know, it sounds good.
It is a very populist message. I mean, Jordan, it is very sort of politically correct to badmouth and bash Fannie and Freddie, despite the fact that A, they've enabled millions of people to buy homes for the first time, and B, most of their rapid expansion occurred during when Barack Obama was a senator.
That's true.
In Congress.
That's true. Well, they've already been punished. I mean, the shareholders have lost 70 or 80% of their capital. So it's a little late to be talking about punishing people who've already been punished very badly. And likely what's going to happen with this new housing bill is they're going to take over, Treasury's probably going to take over, and then wipe out the rest of the shareholders' equity. So there's been plenty of punishment already going on here.
Oh, and that wasn't all the senator said. Obama went on to say that he wasn't looking out for the investor when it comes to Fannie and Freddie policy. Take a listen.
Whatever we do with them, here's my bottom line. Investors who were making a whole lot of money over the last decade, they shouldn't be protected. If their stock tanks, that's not my problem.
There you go. I mean, again, a very populist message.
Yes.
People who've been making investors as if there's some separate...
Evil.
They're not mutual funds that are owned by retired police and teachers.
Right.
What do you think about it? I mean, and you know, also, these stocks, who's made money in these stocks except for the shorts the last 3 years?
I agree with you, and I think it's a misguided message. He has to understand that the mortgage money comes from the investors. And, you know, again, it's a populist message, but you can't ignore the investor, because unless he's willing to write a check for $7 billion to bail out Freddie,
and he's got a lot of campaign funds,
not that
Jordan,
much.
but not that much.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's a very anti-investor message, and I think it's got much broader implications than just Fannie and Freddie. I mean, if he's going to raise capital gains rates, raise dividend rates, this is punishing capital. We need capital in this country, and if you're saying, you know, oh, I don't care if the investors lose, you're not going to get future investors for these kind of things.
Yeah, what is it? About 70% of Americans now own a stock, either actively or passively, in a retirement or a mutual fund.
Through pension funds, through 401ks, through IRAs. You have to invest and encourage the investor class, and this is punishing the investor class.
What are your thoughts, then, on what he has said, not only about Fannie and Freddie, Greg, but also about windfall profits, you know, taking money from the rich, evil oil companies and giving them back to the people? As a capitalist, it makes me nervous.
As a capitalist, it makes me nervous, too, and I think it should make the investment community nervous. It's, you know, as Jordan said, it's anti-business, and it's a populist message. It's an election year. It sounds good. It's rhetoric, but I think it's alienating Wall Street and scaring Wall Street.
Very quickly, Jordan, final comment. Do you believe that we are going to see, and we already have it a bit, but is this going to be a multi-year constriction and tightening of the housing law? I mean, Obama would like to help his base and his constituents. Guess what? It's going to be a lot harder for the little guy to buy a home if Fannie and Freddie get smaller.
That's exactly the problem. We are already in a very, very tight credit situation. People with good credit are having trouble getting decent mortgages today. You take Freddie and Fannie and in effect nationalize them, it's going to get even tighter.
All right, Jordan Goodman, Greg Sichenzia, gentlemen, both, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian.
It's a hot topic, and it's not going